Alabama, Florida State. Years Georgia opened with Clemson, and then Oregon and LSU and Les Miles opened with Oregon and smacked them around. Alabama knocked around USC and Wisconsin and Vatech for years. The SEC fears nobody.
Stop it. I love the SEC. Put them on. By the way, if you just had an only SEC college football playoff show, it would be absolutely wonderful. How about that out there, SEC backers?
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
So the Mets, they went through a rough stretch where they were terrible, but, they win the series versus the Mariners. They're kind of turning things around just a little bit. Like, the offense has been there. You said they were in a playoff race. It's tough to say, they need to win. It's like trying to trust teams in different sports at the end of the season. But the hitters are hitting right now. Lean into the Mets, lean into the Phillies. These teams have something to play for, and they're cooking right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I think what you saw last year is it's tough to say, it's projectable. But I do think it's something that when you're taking shots here, you're looking for a bye-week coverage wide receiver on your roster or a guy that has upside who's young enough to grow into more of a role. I think the development of Bo Nix was stunningly good last year. If we can build on that again this year, I think Marvin Mims is a really good selection as the 57th wide receiver off the board.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
What does he do after he hits the home run? He walks over to the fan and he pats him on the back and gives him a high five. This is the same fan that's been going after him for the entire game. Dave Roberts after the game saying, hey, look, every once in a while, it's kind of funny to see Shohei, who's got this wonderful personality that we almost never see. It was great to see him do that with the fans.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome in. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the grid on a fabulous football Thursday. Yes, the NFL is back officially in about 20 minutes or so, depending on how long the opening game ceremonies will take. But it's Philadelphia versus the Dallas Cowgirls, as we like to call them. Scott Wetzel and Gabriel Morency for the next 3.5 hours, depending on how long this game takes, right up until the final whistle, and we will figure out all our bets and figure out who's winning and who's losing. Yes, the NFL is back. We do have some baseball, and we actually have a situation tonight where a team that's won 12 in a row is actually getting points at home, no less. So we'll sprinkle a little bit, a little U.S. Open talk, I'm sure, as well, when we get into a little bit of lull in the NFL. But Dallas and Philadelphia, the season is here, Gabe. How about that?
I'm ready to rock, Scott. But despite the fact that I'm locked and loaded and ready to bring it, we're going to be with you guys until the end of the football game for every primetime game this year. I've got my eye on that Valkyries game a little bit later on against the Dallas Wings, super hot team. I got my eye on the Lynx and the Aces game tonight. And, hell, we got the women's semifinals at Flushing Meadows going on tonight as well. So a great sports night, but it is obviously about the National Football League, Scott. It's been a little bit of line movement with the total. It's been bouncing around. I've got, a lot of regular guests that are on the show that are in the Philly area, and throughout the day, I've been getting weather updates, and it is kind of ominous. It sort of got cloudy. I've heard it was a little windy around the stadium, but it's never really started to get that bad. The total dipped a little bit. It went up to 48. This is one of these instances, guys. Come NFL season, you really do want to have a couple of options when it comes to your sports book, Scott, because there are 8s and there are 8.5s out there for this game.
Yeah, and you think it doesn't make a difference, but you know what? We've both been doing this a long time, Gabe. I've seen it where something goofy happens, and the difference between an 8 and an 8.5, which you wouldn't think really would be that. Those aren't magical numbers. 7,
every
3,
half
10.
point matters, Scott. Every point matters, man. In the long run, when you're where you notice the big difference? Oh yeah, of course. But you know the big difference, Scott, where you'll really see a difference. You and I compare odds on a nightly basis, and I find it interesting, even just like in the in-game baseball, but touchdown props, Scott. Touchdown scorer props, different books. I got a minus 175 with Saquon yesterday. It was like minus 200 everywhere, right? So if you shop around, different books really will have different numbers. For the most part, it's, general ballpark, guys. But it's good to have a couple of options. Take advantage of the bonuses that are out there. Learn how to use the bonuses as well. I got a great odds boost tonight, Scott. Philadelphia Eagles money line plus 100. So I figured, all right, what are they going to max me out on this? And generally, it's like $80 when they do some sort of like real super boost prop like this. I hit it 4 times before they stopped me. So I got 400 in.
That's
I
not
just did
bad.
it like over. Yeah, one. I just kept doing it over until I was like, wow, they're not going to stop me. I was like, I got to do this just because of the math. I already like the Cowboys plus the points, so now I'm getting Eagles at the money line at plus 400. They let me go up to 400 on that one. So especially in week 1, guys, some sports books, they'll be in a generous mood. They want to hook you and get you locked and loaded for the season, Scott.
Yeah, you just don't want them, Gabe, to come back tomorrow when you put in like if you got 400 to win 400 on Philadelphia, which obviously is a great price, right? And then you say, well, if I put 200 on Dallas to win 330, I can't lose. You don't want them to come back and say, well, you know what, those 3 other bets on Philadelphia you shouldn't have got. You really only should have got it one time. So
they've been taking my Dallas bets all day. Trust me. Trust me. They've been accepting them. And I'm still waiting for that last line move. I put a teaser in on the Cowboys earlier, but let's get right at it, Scott, and I'll throw it to you first. Yeah. Who are you on in this game? Are you going to take the defending Super Bowl champions or the new look, chip on the shoulder Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my SGP out here, right? A little SGP time. Why not? We'll use the little stinger and everything. A little same game parlay time. I'm going to go soft and I'm going to hedge, Gabe, on everything. But the SGP does pay 15 to 1, and I really do like this one. I'm going to take Philadelphia. I'm not going to lay the 8.5. I'm not going to take them on the money line. I'm going to lower it down to 3.5 at minus 250, which is pretty good. I'm going to lower the over-under 10 points down to 37.5 at minus 480. All right. Then I'm going to go Saquon Barkley over 113 yards receiving and rushing. I think he's going to have a monster game tonight. The Dallas defense stinks, and I think Dallas, more importantly, will score to keep the Philadelphia offense in that scoring mode. I don't think it's going to be like 34-7 like it was last year. And then I'm going to use Dak Prescott. I'm going to bump his number up from 244.5, which actually was low. It's 4 yards lower than what we saw last night, which I find very, very strange. But 275 yards passing or more, plus 178. And then maybe the one I like the most, Javonte Williams, 20 yards receiving. Going to bump him up from 12-13 up to 20, which is nothing at plus 180. Put it all together because I'm betting Philadelphia. They realize I'm using a couple of Dallas props. They're giving me over 15 to 1 on that parlay.
Nice payday. And I like your Javonte Williams play there. If there's one thing that Williams is good at, it's catching passes out of the backfield. I would expect him to catch a couple of passes. I see his prop is at 14.5. Right now, Scott. Listen, I gave my picks last night on the show. I really haven't deviated that much. I've added a couple, obviously, but I'm going to roll the dice with the Dallas Cowboys in this football game. I think the Philadelphia Eagles, they have a bunch of new starters on the defensive side of the ball. I think the Eagles will win this football game, but I think Dallas will be able to move the ball on them. I think the Cowboys are live in the first half. I think they're live in the football game. I just can't get past the 47.5, Scott, especially with this Dallas Cowboys defense and the fact that I think the Cowboys in this new look offense with Pickens and Dak Prescott back is going to be very impressive. Dak Prescott over 1.5 touchdown passes is only plus 100. Scott just talked about Dak Prescott and his passing yards. I got it at 249.5. I think it's more than a manageable number. And I get it. The Eagles had the top pass defense in the NFL last year, but it's not the same defense. And the Eagles are slow starters. Remember, guys, last year midseason, Eagle fan wanted Nick Sirianni fired. Okay, right? We're spinning our wheels. So let's see if the Dallas Cowboys have a lot to play for in this game tonight. I'm expecting a ton of emotion from the long field goal prop over 49.5 has to be played, but the touchdown market, guys, is what's really interesting. The first touchdown score market, Scott. It is so heavily one-sided towards the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. The first choice, to score a touchdown for the Cowboys tonight, the first touchdown is 10 to 1 in CeeDee Lamb.
Wow.
10 to 1. It's got,
wow.
This isn't Boise State versus Hawaii, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, New Mexico, Michigan, first touchdown scored a game. Oh, it's going to be Michigan. You're telling me the Cowboys can't potentially score the first touchdown of this game? And the lowest is 10-1? That's insane. This is the only time this year you're going to get CeeDee Lamb at 10-1 to score the first touchdown of the game, Scott. I got to take it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, don't forget, Dak hasn't played in a long time. He's got to be chomping at the bit.
Bro, he's 40-1, Scott. I tweeted this earlier. Imagine he's raring to go. They get on the 2 or 3, and Dak says, screw this. He tells Schottenheimer, I got this. I'm back. I'm running these guys over myself. Boom. Yeah. He just flatlines it into the end zone. 40-1, Scott, for Dak. I tweeted that earlier in the day. Got to take that at that price.
Yeah. They lower right now on FanDuel. I don't get it, Gabe, but maybe it's the weather, but they got his now passing yards at 242.5.
Dear God, what am I? I'm getting ripped off. Yeah, I played this like an hour ago. I'm getting Let me see what I got now. Let me see if it moved for me. Dear God, this is going to upset me. 247.5 for me now. 247.5.
More props coming up.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe getting set for kickoff in about 10 minutes or so. So here's a few more props I'd like for the game, Gabe. I'm going to go over the passing yards, 242. I got it at 244.5. It's down to 242.5. I'm not sure why, but you know what? It wouldn't be the first time a line movement ended up being a loser. So I love the passing prop for Dak Prescott. He's been chomping at the bit. Love the Javonte Williams. You could play it straight at 12, 13.5. 20 yards is plus 180, like I put in the SGP. If you look at, now listen, I understand it's Denver and it's not Dallas, but Dallas signed the dude because of what he did in Denver. So you're not going to bring him over and not do what he did in Denver. And he regularly got 15, 20 yards. They threw the ball to him 3-4 times out of the backfield. I'm thinking Dallas is going to do the same. I really like that product. You get that in one reception, right? Going to go over 28.5 points, Philadelphia. I do like Saquon Barkley to get 2.5 plus receptions. They're giving you monster odds plus 162. He had 10 games last year where he had 3 receptions or more. So, you want to give me plus 162? He's going to be active, obviously. I'll take a crack at that. And then here's the goofy one, which I play all the time. And you know what? I don't even remember hitting it. I really don't, but I play it all the time because it's so enticing. Each team gave to score a touchdown and a field goal each half, 15-1.
Touchdown and field goal each half. So
Each
a touchdown each and a field goal each half. Yeah, I think that's Scott, knowing you with your weird inning props and stuff like that. Yeah. I was expecting you to say all 4 quarters. You needed a touchdown and a field goal in all 4 quarters, but in the half, that's possible. Here's another one too. What do you think about this one? I like the odds of that, but here's just a simple one. Both teams to score in the first quarters, plus 110.
That's pretty good. Opening
both
drives.
Teams to score in the first quarter. Yeah, opening drive, season.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Cowboys really good field goal kicker, so they get get to the 40 type deal, 45. They could take a crack at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you're getting odds on that too. Not great odds, but still
plus 110. Even 2 field goals. Even I'm not asking for touchdowns. I'm just saying 2 field goals even in the first quarter, and you win that at plus 110. If I think the game's going over, then I got to like that bet at plus 110, Scott.
Right. That's probably 4 drives, right? Each team will probably get the ball twice. So,
yeah.
I take my chances. They get
big play capability, Scott, on both sides. Saquon's always capable of popping a big 50, 60-yard run. Dak is back. Don't tell me they're not going to spread the field. CeeDee Lamb, Pickens could pop a big one. Don't forget, we got George Pickens on the Cowboys offense now. All the talk about Micah Parsons not being there, okay, it's true. Whatever. Their defense wasn't very good with him there anyway, Scott. What difference does it really make? You know what I'm saying? And there's this big overreaction about it, but I think their offense is going to be good. And we'll see about the Eagles. Is Jalen Hurts going to step up and start? Do you believe that the Eagles are like some dynasty? Some people talk like they're unbeatable. They're going back to the Super Bowl for sure. I'm not so sure about that. I think just everything fell into place for them last year. And as well as I do, I see it as a Dodger fan. Once you win, you do lose the edge. I don't care what they say, Scott. You do. That's why you never see teams repeat in the NFL.
It's not easy. It's a long season. You're playing, 3-4 extra games than everybody else.
You got a target on your back now. Everybody, you're the champs. You know what I mean?
First place
prime time games, Scott, all the time.
Right, all the time. Yeah, you were playing on a Monday night, then you got to play on a Saturday. Well, what's up with that, NFL? Hey, listen, you're the Philadelphia Eagles. Sorry.
Hey, you're good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like teams in the NBA that bitch about playing Christmas Day. It's like you're playing on Christmas Day because you're good. Shut up. You know what I mean? If you weren't, you wouldn't be on.
Yeah, got to be on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yeah, Dallas. Sorry, that's how it is. Philadelphia. Yeah, So look at Kansas City's schedule. I think they play on Sunday, Kansas City, like 3 times. Oh. Everything else is Monday, Sunday, Saturday. What? It's crazy.
Last year they absorbed it. I thought for sure it would get them, Scott. Last year it was insane, bro. In the month of December, they literally played like 4 games in 16 days. Like on the weirdest days, Christmas, the whatever, this Friday, this this one, that
Saturday
one.
They were playing.
They were all over the place and always against good teams because it was like this, big TV holiday games. And they survived. I thought it would bury them. They survived it.
Yeah. I played 3. My Super Bowl winners, I did take Philadelphia. I still have to see a team beat them. I'm not saying they can't beat them, but Detroit's schedule is so brutal that their over-under is only 10.5, which is just mind-boggling. That team's got to get beat 7 times. So I don't know if Washington's really ready. So I'm looking for that team to knock them off in the NFC. And I don't know if I see one. So I played Philadelphia. I played the Rams at 20-1, and I played the Chargers at 30-1.
I think the Rams are dangerous. I agree with you in the big picture. I'm not, it's funny because I wasn't all in on Green. I've been all in on Green Bay the last 2 years. And, they're going to be good. They're going to go over the win total. They're going to be dangerous. And they never really show it to me, Scott. They don't take that next step. You know what I'm saying? But if you think about it last year in that playoff game, same with the Rams. The Rams played with the Eagles last year in the playoff game in the snow. Yeah. Like the Eagles didn't kill teams. The Packers, if you remember, Jordan Love was hurt, Scott. He had no wide receivers, if you remember. They hung around. Like they were in it. You bring in Matthew Golden, the kid from Texas, maybe he's good. Like maybe, I like Jaden Reed. If their wide receivers can stay healthy and Love stays healthy, I think the Packers could win the NFC for real at plus 600.
You talk about killing a Dallas Cowboy fan if that was actually to happen, and
icing on the cake. It's almost writes itself, though, doesn't it, Scott? That it happens. Just like Reggie White going to the Packers, sort of. You know what I mean? Everything falls into place.
Yeah. Exactly.
And he left. Exactly. Yeah.
So I like a 2-team teaser tonight as well. I would grab. It's kind of like my SGP. I would grab Philadelphia laying the 2.5 and the over 41.5. I get.
See, I did the same thing, but I took Dallas up to 15.5 to the over. Yeah. 7-point teaser. Yeah, Dallas to the over.
So you think there's a better chance of Dallas? There's a better chance of Philadelphia losing than Dallas getting blown out.
And you always feel like a big idiot, Scott, when you take the dog and it doesn't work. And I'm like, why did I just take the team to win the game? Why did I got to get cute? But I think Dallas hang around in this game. I don't think they lose by 16 or more. I think if the Cowboys lose, they lose by 3-7 type of deal.
Right. We'll see. The trends not all, but for the most part, trends say Dallas tonight. They really do. The underdog plays out. All right, we'll see who gets the ball first and look at the in-game live stuff when we return here in the grid.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I don't like it. Does he think he's playing on the opening kickoff? Does he want to get a handoff at that point?
I mean, he's involved in the program. Here's the problem with James Franklin.
Why do coaches even run out with the football team? Like, Andy Reid doesn't run out with the Chiefs.
Yeah, but it's the NFL. This is college kids.
They're college basketball.
They're like a father figure. Well, they used to be like a father figuring. Now the kids are making more than the coach.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
At the moment, you will not be able to do a bet on the television set. However, Emily made it very clear that's what we ultimately want to do, and we may do it sooner than later, where you will be able to put a sports bet on the service through your smart TV set with your remote control or with your voice, especially if a service like Alexa Plus, which is scheduled to go on Amazon Fire TV sets and other smart TV sets, actually happens.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Dallas Cowboys losing that pass rush, losing another big impact player on the defensive side, all this does is make me like Dak Prescott more and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens more, because what we talked about all offseason, right, Matt, which is, hey, when Dak is healthy, he is a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and the defense we think is okay, but we think they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Now I definitely think there's going to be a lot more shootouts.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe watching the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles. Looks like it'll be Dallas to get the ball first. Not sure if they won the coin toss or not. I think they actually did. But so the Cowboys get the ball first. I'd be surprised if they didn't come out throwing, Gabe. I'll tell you the other one I like with, listen, you could do all of them. You kind of pick the one that you think has the best chance, and I use the yards for Dak Prescott. But I'd be surprised if he didn't throw the football 37 times. His over-under pass attempts was 36.5. I like going with attempts more than I do completions whenever I choose that type of thing. But how's he not throwing the ball 37 times? I mean, they have no running game.
I'm a completion guy. It's funny you say that because I'm a completion guy. It's everybody sort of looks at the props differently, but it caught my eye 23.5. The key is, are they playing from behind? Also, Dallas don't really have a ground game, guys. Right? Like Javonte Williams just got let go by the Denver Broncos because, quite frankly, he's not that good. I'm just being real, he's okay. Right? He's okay. And what he's good at is catching the ball. Like Javonte Williams is a third down back type guy. He's not like a back. I like Jaden Blue, who they drafted a lot, Scott, out of Texas, right? But similar situation. He's a smaller sort of speed type of back. They pay Dak Prescott who makes money on this team? They don't want to pay Parsons. Who do they pay, Scott? They paid CeeDee Lamb. They paid Dak Prescott. I think they're going to use them. And they brought in George Pickens. They're all offense. I think they're going to use it. I don't think they can beat the Eagles. I love how they're talking smack already. And the Eagles got a penalty for encroaching on the Cowboys huddle. We're off and running, Scott. Look at this. You see this? Look at this. Buddy, Carter came into the Cowboy huddle. Dak Prescott's like, bro, starts talking smack. And the ref's like, yo, that's a flag on you, Philadelphia. You can't be here.
That's funny.
Oh my God! Hold on.
Oh my!
Did he actually? Wait!
That's an ejection.
Way. He did. He spit on him. You see it now up close. He spit on him, Scott. You're the defender. What a scumbag! They ain't even run a play yet, and you're spitting and you're laughing on the way off the field. You just spit on him.
Wow. That's like the worst. Like when you get into
now
scrums
the Cowboys getting even more fired up, Scott. Give me the pokes. Let's go. You spat on Dak Prescott. You got to get Jalen Hurts now if you're the Cowboys, Scott. You can't have people spitting on Dak Prescott.
Yeah. What was the story you told last night about that? About the quarterback with
Warren Moon.
Who was
Warren Moon, Buddy Ryan.
Warren Moon. Yeah, right.
Players told, hey, tell your coach, we love you, Warren, but tell your coach you better chill out because we're going to hurt you.
Yeah. So they do this to Dak. It'll be, they'll do the same thing to Jalen Hurts. And see, here's another example of these teams are getting maybe not a full first down head start, but all right, opening drive, they return the kickoff to the 32-yard line. Then you're probably going to tack on a few more yards.
And Scott, let me say, Carter's a good player. He's a good player too. Dude, he's one of their best players. That's big for them. And Van Mersen just got her. You see, they just got a guy carted off on the first play of the game on the kickoff, Scott. So Eagles, Carter kicked out, Van Mersen injured. Take it off on a cart.
Wow. Unbelievable. All right, they got to let the near midfielder ready. 2 plays. We're
at Aubrey field goal range already, Scott. This guy's got a cannon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
let's go, Cowboys.
I saw a prop game, and we'll go over some of these when we get a little bit of a lull. Like these season-long props that you found as well. One I saw was, will somebody kick a 65-yard field goal this season?
Saw that too. Yeah. I think we saw that. I saw that.
Yeah.
I was thinking no, but
really? Some dome team halftime?
In today's day and age, Scott, the record is 66 now. No longer 62 with the Dempsey stuff, right? So it's 66 Tucker.
Dempsey.
And with the half foot. And
right,
so that's not there anymore. But you're right. With Bates, with Detroit, Aubrey on Dallas, and this new kid on Jacksonville, Scott hit a 70-yarder in the preseason. You kind of can't see it happening. But think about how crazy it is. You and I are old school. That you're literally on the 50-yard line and you can line up for a field goal.
Yeah.
You have 16, 17 yards. You're like, all right, listen, we're on the 49-50. Let's try a field goal. Your kicker's lining up on your own 40. And it's like, I can make this, coach. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I mean, if you miss, you give the ball to the opposing team where you were kicking. If it's not for that penalty, I remember they used to get it back at the 20-yard line, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I remember Tom Dempsey. The one thing about Tom Dempsey I always thought as a kid was he had a half a foot. Sad story, right? But he had a piece of wood, Gabe, in his shoe. They allowed him to have a piece of wood in his shoe. So he's kicking the ball.
That's good. That's I don't know if that helps, though. I don't know if the wood helps or not.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I don't like it. Does he think he's playing on the opening kickoff? Does he want to get a handoff at that point?
I mean, he's involved in the program. Here's the problem
Why
with
do
James
coaches even run out with the football team? Like, Andy Reid doesn't run out with the Chiefs.
Yeah, but it's the NFL. This is college
what about
kids.
high school, college basketball? Do those
They're
guys
like a
run out
father figure. Well, they used to be like a father figuring. Now the kids are making more than the coach.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
At the moment, you will not be able to do a bet on the television set. However, Emily made it very clear that's what we ultimately want to do, and we may do it sooner than later, where you will be able to put a sports bet on the service through your smart TV set with your remote control or with your voice, especially if a service like Alexa Plus, which is scheduled to go on Amazon Fire TV sets and other smart TV sets, actually happens.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Dallas Cowboys losing that pass rush, losing another big impact player on the defensive side, all this does is make me like Dak Prescott more and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens more, because what we talked about all offseason, right, Matt, which is, hey, when Dak is healthy, he is a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and the defense we think is okay, but we think they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Now I definitely think there's going to be a lot more shootouts.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Action just like that. 3.5 minutes in, Gabe, and Dallas goes the length of the field in what, 4 plays? Literally 5 plays. You take away the penalty. 7-0 Dallas. It came that close. You came that close to hitting, but you also came that close to having aggravation because.
Oh, I didn't get the Dak Prescott bet in. Scott, I got to be honest with you. If that sequence just would have played out, I might have started breaking things 5 minutes into the first game of the season. You know what I mean? So
40-1.
Everyone, if you didn't see, so we were just talking about, we're like, CeeDee Lamb's 10-1, amazing odds, first touchdown of the game. I said, hey, they can get the ball, they can go down the field and score. They're not Hawaii versus Boise here. Let's go. They throw it to CeeDee Lamb. He gets tackled on the 1-yard line, guys. He was going in. He gets tackled at the 1. And then you figure, oh, no. And I'm like, I told Scott, I said, oh, my God, I didn't get Dak in at 40-1 for the first score of the game. And I'm like, oh, my God. Then they throw it to CeeDee Lamb again, Scott. Pass interference in the end zone. Javonte Williams, 11-1 scores. I don't know about you, but if I'm the OC there, I'm calling Dak. And it's in the headset. I'm like, this is you, Dak. Especially considering they just spat on him. It's your first game back. And Jalen Hurts always scores like this, Scott. I like doing it to them.
Right.
It's like, oh, yeah, you guys think, you can score like this? Dak's a big dude. I would have told Dak, just sneak it in and run everyone over. I want you to spike the ball, right? Get everyone really fired up. Unselfish play, Scott. Freaking Javonte Williams. Man, we came close.
Yeah. And what a perfect way to get even, after the kid spitting on him. How stupid was that? I mean, like I said, they didn't even run a play, so I don't know what could have been said. No matter what was said, there was no reason to spit on Dak, right? I mean, what a great way that would have been for him to get even, spike the ball. But I will say this, though, for Schottenheimer, head coach of the Cowboys, obviously, he's going with his bread and butter, right? When you're a controversial figure like he was, his hiring, a lot of people scrutinizing over that. What do you want to do? You want to get the big boys
players on your side.
Get the right players on your side. So it's Dak, it's CeeDee Lamb. As you mentioned, he got down to the one, and they still threw to him again, kind of like Jamar Chase in Cincinnati. They always, if you watch Bengal games, they always bend over backwards to get Chase the ball down there. So not the dumbest thing in the world for Schottenheimer to do.
They better be careful, because Pickens is such a head case, so you better get him the ball the next drive. I'm dead serious, ttoo. Like, next drive, first play, I'm like, hey, here you go, Pickett. Here you go, George. Here, just get him a ball. Get him a ball, chill him out, and get him involved. You're bang on, Scott. Listen, man, you need your star players on your side if you're a coach. Point blank in a modern era. Simple as that. The great Guy Carbonneau, NHL Hall of Famer, who was coach of the Canadians, told me when I interviewed him once, it was a tough time. He goes, Gabriel, the way that it goes is 33% of the room will like you, 33% of the room does not like you. And he goes, as a coach, it's your job to keep the 33% away that don't like you away from the 33% that do. And he started laughing. He talked about and he kind of said that. He goes, there's some guys you got to make happy and some guys I don't care if they're unhappy. Like, he kind of told me, and he said, that's the life of a coach. It is what it is. But in football, you're bang on. I totally agree with you, Scott. Beautiful drive. I kind of called it. We said this is going to happen. Right? I mean, they're gonna throw the football. They pay CeeDee Lamb, they pay Dak Prescott. I would expect Pickens to get involved. Now let's see if the Cowboys can surprise us on defense here. I don't think they will, Scott. The Eagles get a big, a little bit of a play. In-game total now, guys, 54.5. Eagles fall to 180 on the money line. The Eagles are still minus 3.5 on the point spread.
Yeah. They did. I was going to say they didn't drop it that much, but they actually did, considering it was an 8.5 point spread.
That's a 5-point drop.
It's a pretty good drop. That's a decent drop for first drive. But
I grabbed the Cowboys plus 3.5 too, right at kickoff. I'm like, oh yeah, first half. So I like that I grabbed that at. And remember, Scott, we talked about both teams to score in the first quarter, so we'll see if the Eagles can do their part now.
You got that. We got 40 yards or so out of Prescott. 38 yards out of Prescott. We got 2 completions out of him, and we got to score the first 3.5 minutes, so now it's up to Philadelphia. I would have taken that. If you would have told me after the first 5 minutes all I needed was Philadelphia to score that first quarter situation, I would take that for sure. So props are all looking, early start, obviously, but at least looking halfway decent, I will say. And if you didn't hop in on Philadelphia, now you got – we've seen this 1,000 times. We just saw it the other day with Colorado, right? Opening drive, similar situation,
I know.
right? 3 or 4 plays. One of them was a bomb, and they were never to be heard from again. So
the first drive can be deceptive at times. Sometimes.
Yeah,
you are right. Here's Jalen Hurts scrambling right now. Looks like it could be a track meet, guys. We sort of expected it. We'll see if anybody can come up with a stop or not. But it's kind of a big drive for the Eagles here, right? To respond. Yeah. If not, Dallas really, take the momentum back from Dallas a little bit here. But the Eagles are already nearly in field goal range, Scott.
Yeah. You get the ball to 35, Gabe. I keep on saying it, but
in the modern era, you're right.
First down. You're first down ahead. That's one less first down you need. And, things change once you get to the 50-yard line. The adrenaline really kicks in.
Throwing that penalty, look how fast Dallas got to midfield. They were at midfield right away. Look at Philadelphia. They're at midfield right now. It's like, you're right. 15, you get the ball. You're like, look at this. Saquon runs the ball. Now they're on the Dallas 35-yard line already.
I like the overs this weekend. I think the numbers are going to have to be adjusted. I think these opening kickoff rules, or these kickoff rules of basically giving the team the ball at the 30, 35-yard line versus the 20, 25 is real. And then you have the field goal kickers being able to kick. Every field goal kicker in the world now can kick at least 50 yards. That used to be like the great thing, you kick at 50 yards. Now everybody kicks at 50 yards. Now it's 60 yards. So you just need a couple of first downs. That's it. So, I will say this about Dak, for all his faults, and I'm not a big Prescott fan, but, I don't know what to make of this. 29-12 against the spread versus the NFC East. That's 17 games over 500. He's 8 games under 500 against everybody else. 37-55, 37-45-2.
But you know what? He's got a
what
76. He's 30 games over 500. He's 76-46 in his career. People don't get credit. I know you're anti. You know what? Another one, breaking down the trends and stats coming into week one here, Scott. Kyler Murray's another one, right? I know you're not a big Kyler Murray fan. You know, Kyler Murray is 25-12-2 against the spread on the road in his career. It's the best ATS road record of any quarterback since 1970. Right, wow. So perception and reality.
I know he's good against, he's good as an underdog. I'll say that about Kyler.
Yeah.
He's lawful as a favorite. And that's what happens to Arizona. They win
because
these
he's
games.
on the road. He's a dog, right? Yeah. And at home, they don't win when they're supposed to win, generally.
Right.
I think they're going to be better this year, right? But same thing with McCarthy. Same thing with Dak. Like, the Cowboys don't win in the playoffs, but McCarthy was, look at this. Like, they're just marching down the field. McCarthy was a ATS kingpin, Scott, with the Cowboys. Everybody hated him and mocked him. McCarthy. Every year with him and Dak, they were like 12-5 against the spread every year, like one of the top ATS teams in the league.
Yeah, it's too bad the season didn't end for them at the playoffs. So first and goal.
You don't award you don't get the Super Bowl for winning the ATS. You really should. You should get the crown.
You should though. you should get a little something, right?
Well, who's really the best? Good teams win, great teams cover, as the saying goes. In Las Vegas. Last year, the Tennessee Titans guys were 2-15 against the spread. That was tied for the worst ATS record ever. So it looks like Saquon's about to get his touchdown, one up to -200, but they're on the 2-yard line right now.
Tush push or Saquon?
That's another one. I got it. Yeah, good call. You're right. Who do they want to make happy, Saquon or Jalen? It's all ego here, right? At this point, like me and Scott talked about. Hey guys. Dead serious. There's a lot of people on the Seattle Seahawks that are convinced that they didn't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl because they didn't want him winning the MVP.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Do you believe that, Gabe? I love conspiracies. Well, I love conspiracies, but there's no way.
No, I think Bevel actually is just dumb, and he thought that he was going to catch him off guard throwing the ball.
That's what I think too.
I don't think Pete Carroll said, no, we don't want Marshawn winning the MVP, and right. That's what some Seahawks players think that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Time more coming up.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I don't like it. Does he think he's playing on the opening kickoff? Does he want to get a handoff at that point?
I mean, he's involved in the program. Here's the problem with James Franklin.
Why do coaches even run out with the football team? Like, Andy Reid doesn't run out with the Chiefs.
No, but it's the NFL. This is college kids.
They're college basketball.
They're like a father figure. Well, they used to be like a father figuring. Now the kids are making more than the coach.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
At the moment, you will not be able to do a bet on the television set. However, Emily made it very clear that's what we ultimately want to do, and we may do it sooner than later, where you will be able to put a sports bet on the service through your smart TV set with your remote control or with your voice, especially if a service like Alexa Plus, which is scheduled to go on Amazon Fire TV sets and other smart TV sets, actually happens.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Dallas Cowboys losing that pass rush, losing another big impact player on the defensive side, all this does is make me like Dak Prescott more and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens more, because what we talked about all offseason, right, Matt, which is, hey, when Dak is healthy, he is a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and the defense we think is okay, but we think they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Now I definitely think there's going to be a lot more shootouts.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the Grid. So we have a touchdown. Before we get back to, we are a full-service operation here, and obviously 90% of this will be football tonight, but I will say Front Office Sports has said that Caitlin Clark has announced that she's done for the season. So WNBA fans, anyone thinking that Caitlin Clark is going to at least be there for the postseason, I'm a little surprised that she's ruling herself out for the postseason, but it says she announced she'll miss the rest of the WNBA season. So I'm assuming that means the postseason as well. She's got a groin injury. She hasn't played since early July. So Caitlin Clark, Indiana, done. So, but
Front Office Sports. Front Office Sports got on the Grid actually as well. But
yes.
They're becoming like a breaking news source with the WNBA, if you notice. They were the ones that broke that Angel Reese story the other night. Angel Reese flipped out. Yeah, Angel Reese flipped out and basically told everyone on the team, y'all suck. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what? She's actually right.
Not that far off, right?
No,
yeah.
She said, we need to start drafting better. I told you the exact words. I said, I don't understand how they draft this team. Like, you know what I mean? I said, like, they've wasted draft picks. They do need like, and it wasn't as bad. Like the internet blows up with her and starts putting words in her mouth all the time. Right. Scott, they lie about her, right? Like, oh, she said this and that. She didn't say personal. She just said we suck. We need better players, and she sort of took it back a bit. But interesting that Caitlin shuts it down. But yeah, both teams to score in the first quarter, guys. And moving forward, Scott, you said you're expecting overs this week. I think that's a bet that we should take a look at going into this weekend. I bet you more often than not, both teams will score in the first quarter than not this week in the NFL.
That's not a bad angle. That's not. I didn't see that prop. Otherwise, I would have played it. There's so many, right? You go on these different sites.
Yeah.
God bless them.
Now
they
there's a fight after. Look, there's a fight now. Look at this after the kickoff. All kinds of flags. Wow. Helmets off.
Colorado with San Francisco here.
This is good. Wow. This is like, like you said, this is the best thing, Scott, I've seen since the Rockies and Giants.
Yeah. So Jalen Hurts.
Quickly for the record, last night.
Yeah.
Remember the Emmett Sheehan stuff? He screwed the kid, the rookie with the ball and all that.
Yeah. Whatever happened.
Yeah. I believe him. He said he had no idea.
Oh, no way.
No, he basically did.
If you look at
but if you look at his face, he was mad. He basically said, I was mad about the game. He goes, they threw me a new ball. And he basically said, I didn't know. And how the hell is he supposed to know it's the kid's first hit? So he basically said, I didn't know they wanted the ball. Like, so I believe him for the record.
So he thought he was just throwing back the ball he didn't want.
He just thought, he got a ball and he goes, they threw me another ball. He goes, I was whatever. He goes, I rolled the ball. Right. And he said, I didn't know the kid got his first hit and they wanted the ball.
Okay.
I believe him. He's Emmett.
I mean, why else?
He wouldn't like.
Yeah,
he didn't like.
It's not like the kid was showboating or whatever, right? I mean, why would he? You got to find a reason why you would do something like that. I mean,
I believe. I'll take him at his word that he said. I'll take him at his word that he said he didn't know.
Yeah. Right. So. All right, so Jalen Hurts scores a touchdown, 4-yard touchdown run. So you got Javonte Williams and Jalen Hurts. You cashed the ticket. Both teams
score. What you and I talk, Scott, about making mistakes when we bet? It paid off for me tonight. So game one, I already made a mistake. I put my touchdown prop bets in hours ago. When you and I started talking before kickoff, I got so excited and I bet him again without even thinking that I already did it.
I
was like, Jalen Hurts. And then I was like, wait, I think I already did this. And I scrolled down. I was like, yeah, you already did do this. And I was like, oh, it's okay. That's okay. But I really would have hit if Lamb would have scored that first touchdown there because I double-clicked it. Damn, that was a big loss. But I'll take it. I had Jalen Hurts to score a touchdown in the game.
All right, well, how about this? I know I shouldn't say that. I know some sites offer you who's going to score the second touchdown. If you thought Dallas kind of went out of their way to get CeeDee
Lamb again? Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me see. I'll find a number here.
When you call a number of a wide receiver at first and goal from the one, that means that that offensive coordinator, that head coach is trying to get you the ball, trying to make things nice with you.
Who's this dude? Look at this nice play from Dak. Scrambling, dumps it off. There's CeeDee Lamb. Wow, dude, these two look good.
Yeah,
like look at Dak dancing around in the pocket, Scott. Like that, he looks like he's healthy. Dak Prescott's back. He's reminding people. He's reminding people. Hey, you all hate me. You all talk smack about me, but Look at that, guys. Under pressure, scrambles, beautiful throw. Lamb comes back. That was a nice play from Lamb, too, Scott. Often, you know what I mean? He helped his quarterback out there, as they say, right? He came back. He came back to the play, and he got open. Nice play. They were pinned back. All those penalties after the fight hurt the Cowboys. They got pushed back, but they just popped it out to their own 33.
55.5. I'm surprised. You still got 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. And it's not higher than 55. I mean, the NFL, it's difficult, but I think the NFL is more like they just see at the end of the day, let's fast forward. Are we really going to get 60 points? No. So let's not put a 60 up there. But 14 points, 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. That's pretty darn good for a 55.
If you're going to bet the over, do it now. Because if Dallas scores again, that's when it's going to start to get stupid with the 59 and a halves and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
One thing Dallas I'm seeing here, Scott, it's early. It's not like they're picking up 6 and 7 yards on the ground, but if you'll notice, Dallas are having some mild success running the football. They're not going backwards when they run the ball, right? Like they're picking up little 3-4 yards. You know what I mean? The pile is moving forward, something that we talked about. We didn't think Dallas was going to do much of, but nice play calling to mix it up. You can't just have Dak running around. So I like what they're doing here, mixing in the run game as well. What is it now, though? We got a third and real short, 3rd and 2 coming up here.
See if they, man, 3rd and 2 is a little bit too long for the tush push. Philadelphia would do it, but I don't know about Dallas. Got 56 yards out of Prescott as well. What, at that 242, 245, or even 250? The one
Scott,
side I look at offshore was 251 and a half it was.
Let's add on another 30 or 40. CeeDee Lamb again. Fantasy players and yard bettors, it was 73 and a half tonight. CeeDee Lamb players are feeling it. This kid is lighting it up, Scott, right now.
He's over the number already, Gabe. 76
What's he at
yards.
Now? Wow.
76.
Already over his prop for the night. So Dak, what's Dak up to now already? He's only completed a pass
82.
to CeeDee, though, right? No, does he have one to anyone else?
Pickens has one for 6 yards.
Okay, Pickens has one. All right. So remember I said, you better get Pickens a ball. They did.
Yeah.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I don't like it. Does he think he's playing on the opening kickoff? Does he want to get a handoff at that point?
I mean, he's involved in the program. Here's the problem with James Franklin.
Why do coaches even run out with the football team? Like Andy Reid doesn't run out with the Chiefs.
Yeah, but it's the NFL. This is college kids.
They're college basketball. Do those
they're
guys
like
run
a
out
father figure. Well, they used to be like a father figuring. Now the kids are making more than the coach.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
At the moment, you will not be able to do a bet on the television set. However, Emily made it very clear that's what we ultimately want to do, and we may do it sooner than later, where you will be able to put a sports bet on the service through your smart TV set with your remote control or with your voice, especially if a service like Alexa Plus, which is scheduled to go on Amazon Fire TV sets and other smart TV sets, actually happens.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Dallas Cowboys losing that pass rush, losing another big impact player on the defensive side, all this does is make me like Dak Prescott more and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens more, because what we talked about all offseason, right, Matt, which is, hey, when Dak is healthy, he is a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and the defense we think is okay, but we think they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Now I definitely think there's going to be a lot more shootouts.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're still looking for our first punt. I don't know if there was a total punts in the game prop, but I hope you didn't play the over, that's for sure, because we haven't had one. Nothing but offense. Looking pretty good for all our props. Welcome back in Game Live on the grid here, Scott and Gabe, as we close out hour number 1. Football, we got 7-7 Dallas in the lead. Dallas with the ball. Yeah, no black
they're about
cloud.
to take the lead, we hope.
Football, but they're about to take the lead.
Don't put a black cloud on this.
Well.
We're about to take a lead here, Scott. You want a field goal because of your prop.
But
I know you want a field goal.
Yes.
I want a touchdown pass because of my Dak prop.
If I can get a field goal here, right? And the bet was, will each team get a touchdown and a field goal each half?
I'm telling you guys, the Cowboys, this is the prize of the game. They're running the ball. They're pushing the D-line around. And I'll tell you what, because Jalen Carter's an idiot and spit on Dak Prescott. He's like a big fire hydrant, Scott, in the middle of their defense, bro. He's not there. The Cowboys, look at this. They're pushing the Eagles around on the line of scrimmage. They're running the ball. They're going to run it in for a touchdown here right now, guys.
Wow. That's not good if you had Dak over 1.5 touchdown props. That's for sure.
Well, I hope it just turns into such a track meet that it still cashes, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe they throw a quick hit here, but I bet you they're going to hand. It looks like they're going to hand it off. They're not going to get a playoff before the quarter, so we'll have time to discuss this. They're on the 2-yard line. First and goal. 57 and a half right now. What did I just say a couple of minutes ago, Scott, when it was 55 and a half? I said, if you're going to take it, guys, take it now because it's going to go up.
Yeah. First and goal at the 1, I see on FanDuel, they're saying. So
yeah, they're on the 1. First and goal. They're about to score.
That's got to be a Dak, push, right? You would think. Or unless they just don't want to take any chances with this dude.
The way
Which I
understand.
Give it to the running back. You're paying the running back $1 gazillion. Give it to him. And
you don't want to get Dak hit either. He's come back from injuries, right? You don't get hit in the back, whatever. Stuff happens in those scrums, right? It is painful.
Yeah. So
I could be wrong.
Spit on, Gabe. First play of the game, he got spit on. So who knows what they're willing to do, right?
Dude, don't tell me that didn't fire up the Cowboys even more, man.
Yeah.
I know we talk about fake motivation. Oh, this team wants it, and they're going to be this. Everybody wants it. They're all athletes. Everybody shows up to play. But when the other team spits on you, in the first game of the year, don't tell me that doesn't, come on, Scott. Don't tell me that doesn't fire the bench up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it has to. And not to mention, Gabe, Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator. It's not like they brought some guy from Mr. Magoo in.
No.
So all
and
those
now
offensive
he's
players
not held back by
him.
McCarthy and the safeness.
Yeah.
You think how many times he wanted to do something and McCarthy was like, remember McCarthy used to get mad. We want to run the damn ball. You're not good at running the ball. You're not good at it. Throw the ball. Yeah. Schottenheimer. I love the play calling of Schottenheimer. He's done it. He's pushed all the right buttons so far in this game.
Yeah. I like the hire. Listen, I love the father. He couldn't win, unfortunately, in the postseason either.
But he won a lot.
But he won a lot. He's a great head coach. But some of the tough losses and the playoff losses. Oh, the poor guy. I just picture him walking off the field in tears all the time, whether it was with the Chargers or the Browns. But that's it. I thought it was a good hire. You're bringing someone in-house. I'm sure if the players didn't like him, they would have said, no, don't hire this guy. So the offensive players all love him.
Remember,
prove a little
people
something.
wanted Deion, Scott, Deion Sanders, and Deion would have taken the job. So if you're the Dallas Cowboys, and even we had Emmitt Smith on at the Super Bowl, and even Emmitt said, yeah, they should have hired Deion. I don't like this Schottenheimer hire. All right, really, guys, from a real serious football standpoint, you think that Deion's a better coach than Schottenheimer? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right? Schottenheimer's paid his dues for years. This guy's a respected coordinator. The players like him. Nothing against Deion, but Deion's still raw in college. You know what I mean? Taking a Dallas Cowboy job would have been fun as hell if Deion was the coach. Right? The entertainment factor would have been through the roof. But I'm with you. I thought Schottenheimer too. The players like him. He's a smart guy. And you don't always Dallas gets in trouble by going with flash all the time. So they actually went meat and potato style. And, listen, the thing is, Scott, the coach of the Dallas Cowboys is always sort of going to be a yes man. Right? That's the thing, that they're not going to hire someone with an ego. Parcells was the last guy, I guess.
Right.
Right. So who just scored here? Well, let's see. What did they do? Dude,
wow.
What the hell are they doing for Javonte Williams?
He's on my bench on my fantasy team. I told my daughter to bench the guy. Oh, my goodness.
He's got 2 touchdowns.
Never going to talk to me again. Oh,
like seriously, like what did this guy work his ass off and camp Scott this hard that they were like, no, like Javonte.
I got
Is
his
it Javante's
reception.
birthday? We don't know. Is his mother sick and we don't know something behind the scenes? Why are they feeding Javonte like the ball like this?
No hitter watch in Tampa Bay. We'll talk about that when we come back as well.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I don't like it. Does he think he's playing on the opening kickoff? Does he want to get a handoff at that point?
I mean, he's involved in the program. Here's the problem
Why
with
do
James
coaches even run out with the football team? Like Andy Reid doesn't run out with the Chiefs.
Yeah, but it's the NFL. This is college
what about
kids.
high school, college basketball? Do those
They're
guys
like a
run out
father figure. Well, they used to be like a father figuring. Now the kids are making more than the coach.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
At the moment, you will not be able to do a bet on the television set. However, Emily made it very clear that's what we ultimately want to do, and we may do it sooner than later, where you will be able to put a sports bet on the service through your smart TV set with your remote control or with your voice, especially if a service like Alexa Plus, which is scheduled to go on Amazon Fire TV sets and other smart TV sets, actually happens.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Dallas Cowboys losing that pass rush, losing another big impact player on the defensive side, all this does is make me like Dak Prescott more and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens more, because what we talked about all offseason, right, Matt, which is, hey, when Dak is healthy, he is a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and the defense we think is okay, but we think they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Now I definitely think there's going to be a lot more shootouts.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is In-Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Hour number 2 of our who knows how long, 3.5 hour extravaganza, depending on how long the football game lasts. Gabe and I will be here every Monday and Thursday, a little extra throughout the entire NFL season. So Dallas did take the lead again. They scored first. Philadelphia responded, scored a touchdown. Next drive, we've had 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, 14-7. They just began the second quarter. Philadelphia now had the ball. And again, their own 35-yard line. We talked about it. They get great field position. It's 14-7. Dallas on top. Philadelphia still a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under, as Gabe suggested it would be, up to 58.5. So hopefully you hopped on board when it was 55.5. Let's talk a little football. Today's game, tomorrow's game, couple on Sunday as well. Veteran handicapper. You see it here all the time here. He's over on the 4-Letter Network. He's on with Beeson. He's all over the place down in Circa as well. Joe D'Amico. Joe, Scott, and Gabe, how are you tonight, bud?
Oh, thank you for having me, Scott. I'm excited to be here with you and my buddy Gabe. I haven't been on the show with Gabe in a while. Super Bowl a while back, but we had a good time then. Honored to be here sharing a panel with you guys.
Yeah, time goes by too quickly, Joe. It's amazing. It was a lot of fun. Super Bowl in Vegas, draft in Vegas was a great time as well. What do you think of the start to this game? And number one, you motivate the other team when you spit on the star quarterback. Number two, Jalen Carter's a damn good player, and you notice the difference, Joe, already. And the Cowboys are able to run the ball in this game. I don't think, and they're throwing the ball obviously, but they're having a lot more success on the ground than people thought. That was a game changer right there, right? Jalen Carter. What do you think about this game? And do you think that this is for real right now, that the Cowboys have a chance of winning this game?
Well, absolutely. I'm a big believer in motivation any way it comes. And getting spit on at the start of a game is going to motivate. especially how that happened. And then on top of that, losing a key cog in the defensive line wheel is big. So they're taking advantage of it. They're exploiting that hole that is there that wouldn't have been there had he not gotten thrown out of the game. I think this game is still going to be one of their trenches. I still give Philly an edge. Maybe Dallas is just going on momentum right now, but I think eventually Philly's got a good defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, and I think that without question they're going to make some adjustments and start plugging up that hole somehow. But I think Philly is still a team to be reckoned with. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to go down without a fight.
All right, so you would take them at 3.5 then, it sounds like, Joe, right now? Philadelphia?
I would definitely. I had to put out a free play tonight on the over, and I'm just looking for scoring right now. I'd like to see the Masters get a big win, but I would still take Philly. Absolutely, I would. I think this game is far from over.
Did you like any props in the game, by the way?
You know, I'm more of an old school meat and potatoes gambler. I'm a less is more guy, Scott. Gabe and I talked about this a few times when I was a guest on the show in the past. I don't do a ton of props. I'm more sides and totals. If something does catch my eye or I can see a matchup I think could be exploited, yes. Tonight, first game of the season, I kind of stood back a little bit. I want to see how both teams start out, how both teams react to what's going on.
We kind of expected a track meet tonight. I like the over. Scott liked the over tonight of this game, Joe. So good start for us. I even jumped in on an in game at 54.5. It's 59.5. I'll back off that for now. But tomorrow night with the Chargers and Chiefs, I am not expecting them both to go up and down the field. They're playing in Brazil, so you have the international element to this. The Chiefs' defense is good. The Chargers' defense is good. Harbaugh wants to run the football with Hampton and, you know, the new running back they have from North Carolina. And you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, guys, they don't really have a lot on offense. Kelsey is, so Mr. Taylor Swift at tight end. You've got Xavier Worthy, Smith-Schuster, a lot of guys are injured on offense. I'm expecting a lower – I hate betting unders, Joe and Scott, but what do you think about tomorrow's game, Joe? Are the Chargers a live dog? Is it number too low? And what's your opinion on the total? Because I am expecting more of a slugfest tomorrow.
Well, I do think it's going to be a slugfest, and I think both these teams are well coached. They got a lot of talent, just like you touched on. Listen, I'm not going to argue the fact that Chiefs are in a current dynasty, but their offense has slowed down a bit over recent seasons. They're not as devastating as they once were. I do feel the Chargers are a big live dog. I think that they have what it takes to possibly upend the Chiefs tomorrow night. I think this is a good matchup to start off the season. I think these two teams know each other well. I don't think they like each other too much. I think they're both well coached, but I do feel like you feel. I think it's going to be a slugfest. They're going to, if a team breaks a big play, a broken play, I get it. But I feel it's going to be a slugfest. I do give the Chargers a big edge there. If that line ever went to 3.5, I'd be all over the dog.
Kansas City, guys, 27-14 under. Their last 41 games. So you're right. They've not had that same offense. But Joe, I hear a lot of people just writing them off after that embarrassing performance in the Super Bowl. Their time has come and gone. It's going to be Buffalo. It's going to be Baltimore. How do you view Kansas City?
I still think they're a team to be reckoned with, and I'll be honest with you. Yes, last year they lost to a well-balanced Philadelphia Eagles team. But I think this team is far from dead. I think they're still a team to beat. Listen, there are money players and there are fun players. All right. Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid have proved that they could win when big games are on the line. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll go against the norm and I'll buck the system and I'll stir the pot right now. To me, Josh Allen is a fun player. He will never win on a big platform. He doesn't have it up here to win in a big platform. I'm going to be honest with you. I will fade them when they go to the postseason every time. I think the Ravens are a good play to go to the AFC, to take the AFC, but I do not count the Chiefs out at all. I do not like Josh Allen in big game situations. I think that he forces plays. I think he's a hell of a guy during the regular season when it's a fun game. But when there's money on the game, he doesn't have it up here.
Man, we love Joe until the latest comments, Scott.
I knew you was going to rankle some feathers.
But okay. But they're playing on Sunday night. It's a massive game. Home field, tiebreakers. In the modern era, too, we all know about the conference games are more important, obviously, right, than the non-conference games, not just division games. And, the thing is, Joe, I can respect your opinion, liking Baltimore more in the big picture, but Sunday night's a toss-up, right? I mean, Buffalo and Baltimore, opening game. I do like the Bills. It's at home. But I do think Baltimore are all that as well. We threw it out there earlier. What about the NFC? Scott was, me and Scott were debating who, the team to beat in the NFC is. Is it the Eagles, or do you like somebody else in the NFC?
I still think the Eagles are one of the most well-balanced teams in the league. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball, they got a good defense, they got a very good coaching staff. A lot of pressure, not easy to win back-to-back, but they could certainly get to the NFC title game and take it, I feel. I think they are the team to beat in the NFC.
There's Jalen Hurts scrambling again. Guys, the Eagles, it's very primitive here. It's Jalen Hurts running and Saquon Barkley kind of saving them. It's nothing pretty about what the Eagles are doing right now, but they are moving the ball.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. When I was looking – go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
I expect them to move the ball on the ground. I mean, that's what they do. They pass off. They run, they pass off the run. And Dallas, they are beatable defensively.
Yeah.
No, they just can't. They just can't. And now with Micah Parsons gone, it's a big guy to replace, and I don't think they're going to replace him so easily. And I think the Eagles know that, and they're going to just keep running that ball until they tire the defense of the Dallas out, and then they'll go off the pass. And I think then this game gets a little out of hand by the second half.
Yeah. 14-7 is the score. 7.5 minutes left to go. We've yet to have a punt. Philadelphia's got it second and goal at the Dallas 8.
You need a field goal, Wetzel. You need a field goal.
Yeah, this touchdown stuff is not.
He's got a touchdown corner field goal prop, Joe.
Yeah, 15-1. Both teams need a touchdown and a field goal. So I will get Joe's thoughts on some Sunday games when we come back from Game Live.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe checking out Philadelphia versus Dallas. Got a no-hitter watch in Tampa Bay. Last check. We can update that here in a second. But we're talking with one of the veteran handicappers that you see here all the time, either on the Grid or Four Letter Network over at VSiN, Joe D'Amico. So, Joe, we got another touchdown. As Gabe was alluding to there in the break, 14-14. Jalen Hurts gets his second TD. Good for my fantasy, bad for my betting, as I need a couple of field goals here for my 15-1 prop. So 14 all. Philadelphia's line is back up to 5.5, and now you're at 59.5. Still yet to have a punt, Joe, in this game. I mean, we got 6.5 minutes left to go. I mean, we're on pace for like 70 points. I mean, I don't know if we'll get that high, but Gabe, you said you just put it over 59.5 again.
I did, and you know what? I might live to regret it, but it's sort of the cutoff number here for me. I don't want to start getting into the 60s. I already got it over 47.5, 48 or whatever. I got a couple of them. I got a 54.5. Now 59.5 will sort of be my cutoff, but I'm looking for more passing yards from Dak. I'm already on Dak over passing yards. I got the worst number, Scott, at 249.5, as we discussed, but this game's far from over, right? And you know, Dallas are throwing the ball. The Eagles are running the ball. For the record, Saquon Barkley is down to minus 138 right now to score a touchdown right now in this game. So CeeDee Lamb is plus 240. Let's hope that the points continue right now. I think they will. Great point by you, Scott. It's amazing. Starting the ball at the 35-yard line. They're a pass away from midfield all the time now.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, you're 1 first down, 2 first downs away from being in field goal range. So it's nuts. All right, so we'll continue to monitor that. Joe, Washington and the New York Giants on Sunday. Big Blue, a lot of discrepancy here in New York. You know, a lot of Giant fans think they could be halfway decent, waiting for start to play. Then the other fans think, no, they're going to win 3 games, and Daboll's going to get fired by October. Where do you sit Washington and the Giants this weekend?
No, I'm a Las Vegas for 35 years, but I think you can hear the New York Lower East Side little bit in my voice. I hate.
We thought you were from Texas, Joe.
Yeah, Texas, Alabama.
No, but I hate that there's the big Giants fans, but if they get any worse, they're going to move them up to the Canadian League, I'll tell you that. Sports fans, a season ago, the Commanders were a well-kept secret. 12 regular season victories, 2 more in the postseason. They covered 13 games altogether. This season, they're not going to surprise anyone. 9.5 to 10 games they're predicted to win and compete for the division with, guess who? The Eagles. They have a potent, well-balanced offense, a defense that stepped up when they needed a season ago. That's why I cannot understand for the life of me why this line is under a touchdown. This line should be 7.5, but the odds makers know what they're doing. The Giants, horrible. Last season, they got 3 straight-up victories, 4 ATS covers. It seems like every loss was lopsided, folks. Maybe the line is what it is because the Giants won and covered all 3 of their preseason games. But let's face it, preseason is not regular season. For New York, 36-year-old Russell Wilson. Come on, guys. He doesn't have the legs he once had, my friends. Granted, he faces a Washington D that was pretty lax against the run a season ago, but they're extremely good against the pass. And on the flip side, I just don't see how the Giants will be able to slow down Little Oakatone. Jaden Daniels at quarterback, the potent backfield consisting of the likes of Eckler and Krusky Merritt. I like that kid. And let's not forget the addition of Debo. This is a chance for Dan Quinn and his team to jump out to a nice lead in the competitive NFC East. I still think under a touchdown is a way early Christmas present. I got the Commanders all the way here, folks.
All right. I kind of go the other way, but I think you're selling me, though, to tell you the truth. Buffalo, it's like, you're making sense there. And I hate betting on teams that do well. You said it, Joe, that do well in the preseason because it screws the lineup. And nobody cares about the preseason. So,
well, the odds makers, Scott, I'm sorry. The odds makers know the general public and put some stock in the preseason. A team that goes 3-0, they're going to put some stock in. So maybe if they had the line like this, if it goes up any higher, I mean, I understand a 7.5. You got to take the dog. But to be honest with you, I just don't see them competing here.
How about Buffalo-Baltimore Sunday night?
Oh, my late bailout, sports fans. 2 of the 3 AFC top-touted teams. Sunday night late bailout, along with KC, the Ravens, and the Bills are expected to be the 3 best teams in the AFC. We all know what happened the last time Baltimore and Buffalo met. This past January, the Bills eked out 27-25 victory over the Ravens in the divisional playoffs, only to lose the conference title game once again to the Chiefs. Having said that, the Ravens did take a late September home victory over the Bills, a convincing victory last year, 35-10. But that was last season, and this is this season. There's a lot of talk about the Baltimore new-look defense, guys. I'm very excited about it. We all know that they had the top offense in the league a season ago, 424.9 yards a game they averaged. Lamar Jackson accounted for what? 5 TDs and 120 rushing yards in the 2 games against the Bills that season. I feel he's in for a huge game here, both in the air and on the ground here in this matchup. Guys, he goes up against a very suspect and a banged-up, allegedly, Buffalo secondary. While on the ground, let's face it, Lamar's legs are tough enough. Throw into the mix Henry, and you have a real rushing attack. I look for the Ravens to exact some revenge from last January's playoff loss. I also look for their offense to absolutely light up the scoreboard here. The only reason Buffalo is favored is because they're at home. I'll be honest with you. Ravens win this game outright.
Joe D'Amico. We've got about a minute and a half here, Joe. College football. I'm intrigued by that UCLA UNLV game this week. We got Michigan, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa State, SMU, and Baylor's an interesting one. And then, of course, you got the under-the-radar games. What catches your eye on the college card this weekend?
Well, you mentioned a few. I know the UNLV team. I think the wrong team is favorite there. Iowa, I think they win outright. I like Bill Belichick to bounce. I went against him last week. I had TCU as a big play. I think UNC covers. I think they win by 20 or more. I'll be honest with you, too. Another wrong favorite. We're going blue this week. We're taking the Wolverines over Okie. I like Mike Underwood. I like him here. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and that's what this game is going to come down to, mistakes. There's a lot of action on Saturday in college football. Some great matchups, some great games. SMU looks great. SMU looks great. There's a lot of games that look really strong on Saturday.
Michigan money line's a good look, guys. I think they're going to win this game. I think they're a playoff caliber football team, and if they are, they win this football game, Scott. And you're getting higher now, plus 164. There's some like close to plus 200s floating out there if you look around right now for the Wolverines money line.
It's not bad. See, Joe, you ticked them off with your Baltimore pick, but you won them back with your Michigan pick.
Yeah,
so, you know what? You're back in good graces, Joe. You can come back on the program. Check out all of Joe's picks at wagertalk.com.
Thanks, Joe.
There you go. Thanks, Joe.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I don't like it. Does he think he's playing on the opening kickoff? Does he want to get a handoff at that point?
I mean, he's involved in the program. Here's the problem
Why
with James
do
Franklin.
coaches even run out with the football team? Like, Andy Reid doesn't run out with the Chiefs.
Yeah, but it's the NFL. This
about
is college
what about
kids.
high school, college basketball? Do those
They're
guys
like a
run out
father figure. Well, they used to be like a father figuring. Now the kids are making more than the coach.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
At the moment, you will not be able to do a bet on the television set. However, Emily made it very clear that's what we ultimately want to do, and we may do it sooner than later, where you will be able to put a sports bet on the service through your smart TV set with your remote control or with your voice, especially if a service like Alexa Plus, which is scheduled to go on Amazon Fire TV sets and other smart TV sets, actually happens.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Dallas Cowboys losing that pass rush, losing another big impact player on the defensive side, all this does is make me like Dak Prescott more and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens more, because what we talked about all offseason, right, Matt, which is, hey, when Dak is healthy, he is a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and the defense we think is okay, but we think they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Now I definitely think there's going to be a lot more shootouts.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Grid. Thanks again, Joe D'Amico, veteran sports handicapper. You see it here all the time here on the Grid or ESPN or VSiN. He's all over the place. Circa. Check out all his picks at wagertalk.com. It's wagertalk.com. Look for Joe's icon. Hit that, and boom, there you go with all the plays. So right back to the board we go with the football here, Gabe, and right down the field we go. And we have a 4th and 10 at the Philadelphia 23 for Dallas. So field goal time.
I thought PI could be in play here. Let's see the replay here. That's PI. That's pass interference. I would have given the initial sort of jersey grab, the little contact, but there was a shove there at the end. It could go either way, but don't call it on Dallas later. 41-yard field goal attempt. The kick is good. So, hey, you got Philadelphia crack to march down the field and kick a field goal. 17-14 pokes right now.
We get 17 all, and I got that 15-1. The only thing about that is it's difficult to hedge. I don't know how I could. If there's a way, I'll find it at 15-1. But the bet is each team get a touchdown and a field goal each half. So we need Philadelphia now to kick a field goal, and that would take us into the second half and still be alive. Still a little work to do, but 15-1, not too bad. So, and Dallas is leading. What was the Dallas Cowboy money line at the half?
Interesting. That's a good question. I got him at plus 3.5. So what's 3.5 on the money line? Probably about plus 150.
Yeah. 150, 160.
Because right now they're plus 6.5, plus 210. Right. So I took him plus 3.5. And let's give credit to Mark Zinno earlier in the week. That was his call. Remember a couple of days ago, he said he's looking to take Dallas in the first half. He liked Dallas in the game as well, but he was all about that Dallas first half plus 4. I got 3.5 because I did it right as they were kicking off, right? So it was one of those. I was one of those. Oh yeah, it's like Christmas shopping. Oh yeah, I forgot that gift. I was like, oh yeah, first half Cowboys.
You're standing in the aisle. Yeah.
The grocery store, the National Enquirer bet. Yeah, that's what I should call it. The National Enquirer bet. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one at the cash. Let's go.
60.5 now for Philadelphia.
I see 61.5 for me.
Real FanDuel's got it 60.5. Wow. You don't get that many games. The crazy thing about that is it's only duplicating what we had in the first half. I mean, realistically, are we really going to have this kind of – we haven't had a punt. We've had 5 drives, 4 touchdowns in the field.
No,
turnovers. I think it's going to slow down.
It'll tighten up, too, in the second half a bit. Like, it will sort of slow down. But it's sort of contingent on this next drive. Number one, neither team has shown an ability to stop each other. Let's call it out for what it is, right? Like, the Eagles have just marched down the field. It's not as easy for the Eagles, if you notice. They sort of scramble around, and Hurts makes a play. Barkley pops one. What's the Eagle passing stats? Off the top of my head, they seem to be non-existent for the most part. Like, non-existent, Scott. What are,
the 31 yards. I tell you, Gabe, for a game that's 17-14 second quarter, Dak's thrown for 98 yards, and about 75 literally came in the first drive. Hurts is thrown for 31. Dallas
the props aren't there.
Yards.
You're right. Dak
is
up to 98. He is up to 98, but the numbers don't reflect the score doesn't reflect the props, actually. Yeah. You're right. Like, as far as the score.
It hasn't been turnovers. It hasn't been short fields either. It's like the weirdest thing.
But look at Jalen Hurts he is 6 for 6, so cosmetically, all right, 6 for 6. Yeah, it's 31 yards. Like, you know what I mean? You've got Devontae Smith, and you've got all the weapons you have. A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert. So Goddard's got 4 catches for 24 yards. So what does that tell you? No one's really getting open, and he's checking down to the tight end all the time.
A.J. Brown's got none. Devontae Smith has 1. The 2 main wide receivers.
So it's weird.
2 main wide receivers.
Like, if you're the Cowboys defense, Scott, you could actually take a lot of positives. You'd be like, we completely shut down A.J. Brown. We completely shut down Devontae Smith. Yet it's they've scored 14 points on us somehow. Right? It's been a weird half. But as far as the total is concerned, I've been sort of on top of this so far. And I see it'll go to 59.5, and that's sort of the cutoff here. This drive, if they kick a field goal here, it'll remain around the same, guys. It might go up a point or something. But did the Eagles backdoor me and score a touchdown here? And we've been boasting about my plus 3.5. They might win 21-17.
Yeah, that would really. That's what I was thinking about when you were saying you had 3.5 and not 4. I'm like,
yeah. Oh, boy.
Touchdown puts it at 4. But
it'll help the over, though, if that happens. So
yeah,
I'll think positive. It'll
cool.
make it. I say it's going to be 17-17 at the half. I don't think they score a touchdown. I think they score a field goal here.
Knowing my luck, it'll be 17-14 Dallas.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I don't like it. Does he think he's playing on the opening kickoff? Does he want to get a handoff at that point?
I mean, he's involved in the program. Here's the problem
Why
with
do
James
coaches even run out with the football team? Like, Andy Reid doesn't run out with the Chiefs.
Yeah, but it's the NFL. This is college
what about
kids.
high school, college basketball? Do those
They're
guys
like a
run out
father figure. Well, they used to be like a father figuring. Now the kids are making more than the coach.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
At the moment, you will not be able to do a bet on the television set. However, Emily made it very clear that's what we ultimately want to do, and we may do it sooner than later, where you will be able to put a sports bet on the service through your smart TV set with your remote control or with your voice, especially if a service like Alexa Plus, which is scheduled to go on Amazon Fire TV sets and other smart TV sets, actually happens.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Dallas Cowboys losing that pass rush, losing another big impact player on the defensive side, all this does is make me like Dak Prescott more and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens more, because what we talked about all offseason, right, Matt, which is, hey, when Dak is healthy, he is a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and the defense we think is okay, but we think they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Now I definitely think there's going to be a lot more shootouts.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid, waiting for the 2-minute warning to elapse, and we finish out the first half of this Philadelphia-Dallas Cowboy game. I tell you what, if you're NBC or you're the NFL or you're just a fan watching a game, as we are, you can't help but be entertained, right? No punts, 31 points, up and down the field they go. You got touchdowns out of Hurts. You got CeeDee Lamb having a good day. Not much out of Barkley for the Barkley supporters out there, but Philadelphia has the ball. They're down 3, 3rd and 6 at their own 23-yard line. And it's a big, if they don't get the first down here, you punt the ball back to Dallas. Dallas has got an opportunity to be up 2 scores.
Whoa, Nelly, as Keith Jackson used to say, Scott. You're right. No, I'm just stating, if they do get the ball back and are able to even put another 3 on the board, Philadelphia is going to get the ball to start the second half. Let's remember, we always talk about these critical 2-for-1s, right? So they go deep.
Yeah.
And they complete it.
Wow. You're ahead of me.
As the ball was in the air, I didn't think it was going to be complete. I was like, I don't know where this is going. It looks like he overthrew it, but the Eagles just picked up a massive chunk of yards through the air here. They're in field goal range right now, just like that.
Field goal range. That's right. That's right. They got it to Dallas 26.
Wow. Yeah, they're past. They. I wanted the long field goal here. They passed the barrier. I need a penalty now. I got to get bounced back here.
You need a sack or something here.
Sack him.
A holding penalty, sack.
Saquon drops a little dump off, uncharacteristic of him.
Oh, I needed 3 receptions out of him. He's got
really. Look at this one. I don't even see it. He flat out dropped this one. Dropped it.
Wow. This is where you get the free yards, too, with the quarterbacks. I want Philadelphia to score here quickly, kick your field goal, they get the ball back to Dak with a minute left, and he's going to dink and dunk his way down the field as all these teams do.
Smart
in the final,
coaching, Scott.
minutes.
Smart coaching, Schottenheimer here. You would always talk about. Let's see how smart they are. Dallas, you got to think about your timeouts now. I want the ball back if I'm Dallas. I got a minute here. The way I'm moving the ball, they go right back to Barkley after he drops the ball. So they just dumped it off to Barkley. Sets up a 3rd and short right now.
Ooh. Would they go for it on 4th down? I wouldn't think so. First half, right?
I think they would, Scott, to keep the ball for the rest of the half because I don't think I think we could see our first brotherly shove tush push of the year.
Right, 3rd and 2. If let's say it's an incompletion, they probably would. They probably would.
So I don't think the way their defense. There's a $1:09 left. Dallas have 2 timeouts. This is a big play. Like if you're Dallas, I'd want the ball back. I'd be hell bent to get the ball back. Like in right now, if I'm Dallas, could come up with a play here and you get the ball back. It's a long 2, actually.
They're still making Philadelphia 6.5-point favorite. I mean, I know they're driving here, so that's probably why. But I tell you, Dallas is not back down at all. They got the first down.
And it was to Barkley. Another catch for Barkley. He's catching balls. Yeah.
And
he barely caught this one, guys. Look how unnatural this catch was for him. Like he's fighting the ball. Like, look at him. He caught it, Scott. He's like, whoa, he falls over. The last, he's like, Barkley's not in his full groove here, but watch him pop a run in for a touchdown. Now I could really lose the first half bet suddenly now. This is getting real. They're on the 15-yard line.
Yeah. And now they're close enough, Gabe, where they're thinking touchdown. A lot of times you get these teams in his last drive, they'll get to the 25, 30-yard line, and they just settle for field goals. We'll run the ball a couple times and get out of here. And it's halfway decent strategy because, sometimes they say if we kick a field goal and give them a minute, they're only going to come down and kick a field goal anyway. So we might as well just, try and just eat up the clock. But now they're close enough to the goal line where it's like, especially since they're trailing.
They're going to take a shot to the end zone. But, Dallas are doing a nice job on pass defense, actually, for the most part. I know they gave up that big chunk. He kind of did push him out of bounds here. I don't think they didn't call a flag, though. But they're doing a pretty good job. But you notice, Scott, they're dropping back, and they're concerned, and they're covering everybody. But, Hurts just scrambles all the time. Like, Jalen Hurts is the one that's just killing them with this. Now you got a 2nd and 5 with 56 seconds left, and they can get a first down at the 5-yard line, which is a real killer. Oh, yeah, here comes Saquon. There it is, touchdown.
Wow.
All right, you know what, though? The Cowboys have time to kick a field goal here. We got 51 seconds left. We got potential shot here moving the ball down the field. But just like that, the Eagles take a potential 4-point lead.
Could they miss the field goal or extra point? You got a shot?
They're not going to. I like your style, though. Let's hope.
You got a shot. Don't be Sirianni can go for 2 here. I got to tell you, he's been known to do stupid things.
You're right. Maybe he's a psycho. Yeah. Maybe he's gonna get, he's going for. They're kicking it here. So I gotta hope. That they miss it. It's got our first extra point miss of the season. But I'm thinking more. Hey, I got 50 seconds.
Yeah,
I got a shot here with Aubrey,
timeouts.
Especially for our long field goal, Scott, prop there. Right. Aubrey, 49.5, right down the middle.
You could hit both, Gabe. You could hit, the cover the 3.5 and the long field goal of 50 yards.
Every half point matters, those guys. I took 3.5 instead of 4. Could have gotten 4 earlier. I got 3.5 right before kickoff, sort of the end game. Literally, I bet it as they were kicking off type of deal. But total now, Scott, 63.5.
Wow. No punch yet.
What if Dallas has some points here now? It could be 66.5 at the half, 67.5 at the half.
21-20, you're looking at maybe, right? 41 points.
Like Scott said, no one stopped anybody. Yeah. Like they've scored. We haven't had one punt. They've scored on every possession of this game so far.
Yeah. And 6 drives, only 1 field goal. You're not even getting like a bunch of field goals. You're getting legitimate touchdown drives.
Think about the original total, Scott, man. We got 47.5. We're at 38 right now. Nice start. Let's not mush it, but you know what I'm saying? Nice start.
Nice, yeah.
Because we've seen this before.
Worse.
There's often that. There's often that game. Can you believe it? We got over 51 and we're already at 42 in the third. Whatever. It's like, it doesn't, you hit the wall. Doesn't happen again. For the record, just quickly, Sabalenka defeats Pagula.
Yes.
Pegula won the first set, and then after Sabalenka rolled the next two sets. So Sabalenka into the women's final at the U.S. Open, and the next match getting ready to start.
I'm gonna play Osaka. I took her at plus 250 to win the thing yesterday. I think so I already had that, so I'm not gonna go too crazy, but I think she wins. I think Osaka played a great game. Anisimova is pretty good, big girl, husky girl. She can hit the ball hard and everything, but
Osaka's in his zone right now.
Yeah, she's in the zone.
I parlayed Sabalenka and Osaka. It was plus 134, so I got Osaka at plus 134. So I'm in a nice little spot here. Hopefully, you think it goes 3 sets though, or 2? What's their head-to-head record?
Go 3. Yeah, I didn't check. What's what's the games total? So you check that. I'll get the games. Games spread is
versus M is Mosa.
22 and a half of the games.
Head-to-head.
6-4.
Wow, Osaka actually has lost. Has lost both times they played.
Really?
And you know what's up? Both times they went 3 sets, just for the record.
22
but you know what?
Like
you said, dude, like whatever, man. Roland Garros 2022. Yeah. What can we take away from that? Australian Open 2022. I'll tell you, though, it was 2 majors. She did beat her in 2 Grand Slam events. So it wasn't like, it was the New Orleans Open or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, yeah, when they don't care.
Sometimes you see, like when you see some of the wins, they didn't care. But nevertheless, Osaka, like you said, she hasn't been around. Osaka seems to be on top of her game. And that's going to, if this happens, that's going to be a hell of a match, bro. Osaka versus Sabalenka, that's going to be big time.
I will. Yeah. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm not going to go over 22 and a half. I'm going to lay minus 280 on Osaka to win at least 1 set and Anisimova to win at least 1 set, minus 270. That parlay actually pays you plus 125. There's no way they're going 3 sets and they're not reaching 23. So you might as well do that. And they're not reaching 23 unless it goes 3 sets. So, in-game live. More when we come back.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I don't like it. Does he think he's playing on the opening kickoff? Does he want to get a handoff at that point?
I mean, he's involved in the program. Here's the problem with James Franklin.
Why do coaches even run out with the football team? Like, Andy Reid doesn't run out with the Chiefs.
Yeah, but it's the NFL. This is college kids.
They're college basketball. Do those guys
like
run
a
out
father figure. Well, they used to be like a father figuring. Now the kids are making more than the coach.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
At the moment, you will not be able to do a bet on the television set. However, Emily made it very clear that's what we ultimately want to do, and we may do it sooner than later, where you will be able to put a sports bet on the service through your smart TV set with your remote control or with your voice, especially if a service like Alexa Plus, which is scheduled to go on Amazon Fire TV sets and other smart TV sets, actually happens.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Dallas Cowboys losing that pass rush, losing another big impact player on the defensive side, all this does is make me like Dak Prescott more and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens more, because what we talked about all offseason, right, Matt, which is, hey, when Dak is healthy, he is a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and the defense we think is okay, but we think they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Now I definitely think there's going to be a lot more shootouts.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. The nitty-gritty of gambling. We're down to the final 27 seconds. Game needs at least a field goal. Down 4.
Let's get the long field goal here. Let's go.
Yes.
You got Aubrey, but one of the best
kickers.
kickers in the game. Yeah, they're on the 45. They just have to waste one of their timeouts. Come on, Dak. What do you got on this one? Get out of bounds. It's third down coming
45, up. You get to the 45. That's 55. That'd be a 62-yarder. You need 10 to 15 yards.
Can you imagine?
Try a 62-yard. I think they would try that versus a Hail Mary. So you need about 10 to 12 yards.
The prop you and I talked about right before the show started that we both saw, season-long field goal, 65.5, right here.
You can get it the first game.
He hits
first
it, 66 at the half, at the buzzer here at the half. Let's go.
I had one of those last year. It was the longest touchdown, and the over-under was like 94.5, 95.5. And, I played obviously under. I didn't know I was going to get a 96-yard touchdown. First week, I forget who it was. It may have been Justin Jefferson of Minnesota. Somebody, if you look it up, first week game, guy runs it in from or completes a pass for like 98 yards. Touchdown. I
saw that too. I'm sure you saw this one this year. Longest TD from scrimmage, 92.5 yards.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen a lot though, right? And I talked about it on the podcast, and considering how often infrequently it happens, I want better than minus 110 odds, right? Like talking about the over-under 4.5 interceptions in a game for a quarterback. Yeah, Jared Goff did do it last year, but before that, it hadn't happened since 2019 in Jameis Winston. Before that, it hadn't happened since 2017. So it's happened 3 times since 2017, and you're getting minus 110. You're actually getting value on the side of that. Crazy play on third down. The Cowboys threw the ball. It looked like Pickens dropped it. He bobbled it, but he ended up catching it. They're sort of right there, Scott. They're on the 45-yard line. They're running out of timeouts, though. They're out of timeouts, and we got 15 seconds left. So it is setting up for a potential long field goal prop here, opportunity.
Spike the ball, boys. It's 62-yarder.
Where are we? Are we at the 45 now? Where are we at? Is it 62 now? Is that where are we at the 45? Yeah. Okay.
45, yeah.
With Aubrey, a couple of more, and it's nearly a chip shot with this guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Ooh, they're down to the 35. They're down to the 30.
No more. You can't pass. You can't get too far now.
That's it. That's it. Be done.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb to the 34-yard line. Oh, boy.
Here's your question.
Oh, yeah. No, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. They're going to spike the ball, and they're going to kick the field goal here. Here we go.
All right, here's your question real quickly. Would you rather have them gain 15 more yards to assure a field goal and you win that bet, or have them spike it and kick us 52-yarder knowing you could miss a 52-yarder?
Well, dear God, Scott, and I got both riding. I got the long field goal and the Cowboys plus 3.5 on the line on this play suddenly. Yes. Oh, boy.
3 seconds. They spiked it.
53-yard field goal attempt. Come on, Aubrey. We hyped you up, bro. This is it.
Yeah. Notre Damer. You got to get it done. Take one
they're freezing him. They called the timeout. They're freezing me more than him, I think. They're freezing me, Wetzel, because I'm more nervous than he is.
I don't think that freezes anybody. I know that's what they're doing. You know you're wrong, but
I think it's an advantage for the kicker. It gives them time to chill out and think about it.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Kind of line myself up.
Yeah, my shoe's a little loose here. I'm going to tie my shoelace here. You know what I mean? Just little things like that. I want to fix my jersey. You know what I mean? I was uncomfortable.
Yeah. So, and then what really bugs me, Gabe, is when they allow him to kick and then they call the timeout. And I'm like, you don't want to do that. It's muscle memory. It's simple muscle memory. You don't want that. Call if you're going to call it, you call it now. You don't allow him to actually try one. Like that's supposed to be shaking him up if you should do it a second or so before.
Aubrey?
So,
money.
What do you think? He made it?
Money, baby. The Dallas Cowboys. Long field goal hits and Cowboys plus 3.5 /4 first half because of that kick, baby.
Yeah. He hit it? Wow. How about that?
Nice job by Dallas, Scott, with limited time, getting the ball down the field and responding like that. They're punching back every time. They're punching back, this team.
Yeah. I mean, and that goes, that's why, as a Dolphin fan, I remember this with Benny Malone way back when against the Raiders, the Sea of Hands game. They scored too early. Philadelphia scored too early. They gave Dallas a minute time. A minute in the NFL is an eternity. College, not so much, but in the NFL,
especially
these quarterbacks
modern
being
NFL.
as good as they are. Yeah.
Oh, dude, as a Bills fan, I know we lost the game against the Chiefs in 13 seconds.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
13 seconds.
I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, how
like
many
Scott
times did that
says,
ever
with the
happen?
shortened field nowadays, like in the modern NFL, whatever, even like at the 20, the 30 or whatnot, like before, it's a couple of plays away from field goal range, Scott. Like, you know what I mean? You're the modern NFL, you're at the 30, boom, one play, nice play over the middle, slant play, boom, you're at the 45, 50. One more pass, you're in field goal range. Like, it really is just like 2-3 plays. Like, the Chiefs moved the ball down the field in like 3 plays. It was like boom, 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 last play, field goal type deal. Like, it's possible. Like, you just saw Dallas. And even crazier, guys, you saw, I was like, oh, no, when I saw they got pinned back, Scott. They started the drive on like their 12-yard line, and they still marched the ball down the field.
Yep. I'd like to blame it on prevent defense, Gabe, but they haven't stopped Dallas the whole game anyway. So whether it's 2 minutes left or in the first quarter, so it's not like, you play great defense and all of a sudden you're playing prevent defense. No, that's not been the case. So
if you're Dallas too, you've noticed Philadelphia can't stop CeeDee Lamb. They've got 2 pass interference penalties on him. So, and he's lit them up. So he's either getting open or they got to grab his jersey and interfere with him. And you'll notice now Pickens is starting to get more involved right now. So if you're Dallas, you got to feel pretty good about things. This game's kind of going the way I thought it would. It was close. It's a track meet. Dallas are hanging around right now, but Philadelphia have that championship pedigree. If they're getting the ball first to start the second half. Updated point spread 6.5 right now, and the total is 64.5.
Wow, that's 24 more points, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. I tell you what, we haven't had any punts.
Dude, that's more than doable, Scott. Like, I would have made it like 25.5 to scare people off that key 24 number.
Yeah, make it 4 touchdowns. Make it 4 touchdowns. This one, you're keeping the field goal still in play, which you might get in one of these drives, right? That's not a bad number.
They can't stop each other. They cannot stop each other. And also, you figure Philadelphia's passing attack is going to come up with a play or two again. They have one, but it hasn't done much.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I don't like it. Does he think he's playing on the opening kickoff? Does he want to get a handoff at that point?
I mean, he's involved in the program. Here's the problem with James Franklin.
Why do coaches even run out with the football team? Like, Andy Reid doesn't run out with the Chiefs.
Yeah, but it's the NFL. This is college kids.
They're college basketball. Do those
they're
guys
like a
run out
father figure. Well, they used to be like a father figuring. Now the kids are making more than the coach.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
At the moment, you will not be able to do a bet on the television set. However, Emily made it very clear that's what we ultimately want to do, and we may do it sooner than later, where you will be able to put a sports bet on the service through your smart TV set with your remote control or with your voice, especially if a service like Alexa Plus, which is scheduled to go on Amazon Fire TV sets and other smart TV sets, actually happens.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Dallas Cowboys losing that pass rush, losing another big impact player on the defensive side, all this does is make me like Dak Prescott more and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens more, because what we talked about all offseason, right, Matt, which is, hey, when Dak is healthy, he is a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and the defense we think is okay, but we think they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Now I definitely think there's going to be a lot more shootouts.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
back it is in-game live game day here on the grid. Whew, I tell you what, first half of the first game, and I already need a shower here. Between all the bets
Buckle up,
down
long
the
season
wire,
ahead.
I mean,
Buckle up.
holy fudge. Yeah, this is going to be a long one. It's Scott and Gabe talking with our good buddy Brady Cannon, who you see here all the time here on the grid. What's going on, Brady? 21-20. They just reached halftime. Philadelphia with the lead. They will get the ball back, laying 5.5 over under 64.5. Give me your impressions of the first half.
Well, I tell you, football is off to a great start the way the boys in the front office there in New York like it, with all kinds of scoring, almost getting over the total in just 30 minutes of action. 41 points on the board. Of course, the game total for the entire game prior to kickoff was roughly 48 or so. So, yeah, if you like scoring, this has been a dandy. Not a whole lot of defense here. And that's kind of been exactly the opposite of what we've seen in a lot of these marquee college football games, where the defense appeared to be very much ahead of the offenses. And I thought, I talked to a good friend of mine last night, and I thought he made a good point that, you know, when neither starting quarterback plays a snap at all in the preseason, those games tend to go under the total. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Not the case here. Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, neither one of them played a single down in the preseason, but they came out and just started lighting each other up. So, you know, it got off to a really auspicious start with the injury and the ejection. That was ugly. But since then, it's been pretty entertaining.
Now, me and Scott, remember, Scott, we just talked about that key number, and you and I both agreed and were surprised about it at the 64.5 to get to 24. The market has moved 65.5 right now. So a little bit, you know, it's just, and that's the big difference. It might as well be 27, right? Exactly. 24, 27, etc. But what do you think, Brady, about the pace of this game? Naturally, you know, it almost has to slow down, but there hasn't been a single punt in this football game, Brady. Like, neither team has stopped like each other at all. And Philadelphia's offense really hasn't clicked, and they're still scoring. Dallas offense looks good. They're moving the football. I don't really think this slows down, but, like, how high do we go here? Is this, you know, does the winner of this football game, are we really going to win, have a 41-38 game? What do you think happens in the second half? The Eagles are minus 5.5 now.
We absolutely might. Yeah, no, we absolutely could be 41-38. But just on principle, I would have to play the under. I'm going to have to trust the original number here, which was 48. Now, obviously, they got that wrong. But I'm going to expect, like you said, Gabe, it's got to slow down here for a minute. That's the way we like to live bet things, right? In a hockey game, when they score 3 goals in the first period, you hammer the under when the number goes to 10.5, right? So I would probably go that direction just on principle, but I'm not going to argue with someone who says, no, I'm going to hammer the over. I do think from a side perspective, whether you want to treat this with a money line or you want to lay the 5.5 or you want to lay the 4.5 for the second half only, I do believe Philadelphia has the capability here to start to pull away. And we saw that for a glimpse. Now, you talk about this last drive for the Cowboys. They started at their own 12-yard line, had a little bit of a muff deal on the kickoff there. They were the beneficiary of 2 crucial penalties. So they may have not even ended up with a field goal here, if not for a couple of big penalties on the Eagles' defense. I feel that the Eagles are the superior team and have the ability to adjust and slow this Cowboys team down. I don't know if the Cowboys have an ability to slow Philadelphia down. And like you said, Gabe, Philadelphia hasn't even maybe really found their stride offensively and has still put, 21 points on the board. So I think, it's often a great strategy to bet the underdog just for the first half. And all those people that did so have cashed their ticket. I think the favorite eventually starts to pull away here in the second half.
How about some props? Any props? Gabe and I were talking. The numbers really don't reflect the score. You would think all these guys would be throwing for 5,000 yards.
You figure Dak would already have 280 yards.
Yeah, it's not there. Oddly
it's been
enough.
The running game, right? Nobody can stop the running game. And that's not necessarily a reflection on Micah Parsons, although he makes everybody around him better. If he can rush the passer, other guys can focus on stopping the run. I think it is a big part of Dallas's problems on defense this evening. I'm not so sure what the problem, other than Jalen Carter not being in the game. The Eagles' lack of defense is a little bit surprising, but I think they, again, have the ability to clean it up, whereas Dallas, I'm not so sure.
All right, talk with Brady Ken. We'll take a quick little break. We'll get some more second half plays from him. Maybe take a peek at tomorrow's game and even maybe some of Sunday's game. So we're at the half. It is Philadelphia. They will get the ball back to start the second half. 21-20, laying 5.5. FanDuel's got it at 64.5. More coming up. Hour number 3, right around the corner.